Oh, let's not forget to use our phones to record. So, this is just a monologue, alright? I'm not talking to myself. I'm not, pretending I'm on speakerphone. But if I was a little nuts in 2025, would you blame me? ICE raids and shootings, an abortion ban, universities groveling for funding. And you know what? All of it is connected in a single knot. A southern hog tie. The problem is we're living under slave-holding laws written 238 years ago. And if everybody could vote in Atlanta and Cleveland and Seattle, it wouldn't even be close. And the last two Republican presidents we got didn't even get the popular vote when everything works to their advantage. So imagine if everybody could vote. We'd be like the most Swedishy Norway, but with actual diversity. And you'd see the country for what it really is. Diverse, tolerant, smart. Oh look, it's Darrell M. West, the Calico Cat researcher from the Brookings Institute.
I am doing fine. How are you? If we did not have the Electoral College, Al Gore would have been elected president in 2000 as opposed to George W. Bush. Hillary Clinton would have been elected president in 2016 as opposed to Donald Trump. And so if you just think about the Supreme Court, which now has a 6-3 conservative majority, if you look at the last 30 years of American politics, we would have had mostly Democratic presidents. People would be complaining today about a liberal bias on the Supreme Court because most of them actually would have been appointed by Democratic presidents. The whole nature of our system would be very different if we got rid of the Electoral College. The House and Senate likely would have addressed many of the problems that are on the agenda for most Americans today. People would actually think our government did things, and they did things in a positive direction. So we should not underestimate the way that the Electoral College has really screwed up our whole political system over the last several decades.
Hey, so I'm tired. We're tired. Authoritarian rule is increasingly our reality, and the exhaustion keeps growing, summoning energy to play whack-a-mole. This is not our failure. It's part of a design. No abortion, no Department of Ed, no healthcare, constant distraction. And meanwhile, the problem goes untouched because we're not meeting it with a smart and steady and non-violent collective strategy. So look, I'm gonna be brief. In 1969, Representative Emanuel Seller of New York moved to replace the Electoral College with a national popular vote. It passed the House with bipartisan support. President Nixon endorsed it. It was on track to pass the Senate. That alone should be a surprise. Then in 1970, 4 men stopped it. James Eastland, John McClellan, Sam Ervin, and Strom Thurmond filibustered the bill. Their argument was explicit. A fair vote would diminish their state's political influence. 4 senators from former slave states overrode the House, the president, and the majority of Americans. After that, the issue just vanished. Until recently, efforts by Barbara Boxer and Steve Cohen, followed by a 2024 amendment from Schatz, Durbin, and Welch. Notice the pattern? Not the former slave states. We keep pretending we can out-nice a 242-year-old slave compromise. We play a game where winning requires 70% of the vote to secure 50% of the votes. Meanwhile, corporations have adopted this architecture. CEOs now function as the new masters, exploiting a rigged system to hollow out the middle class and trap us in permanent debt. It's a Confederate blueprint of hate. Mississippi carries more electoral weight per person than New York or California. That's minority rule by definition, even as it remains embedded in the Constitution by design, despite James Madison's own objections. This is the linchpin issue. It is. Here and globally. We tell ourselves the problem is polarization, and it's not. The problem is structural. It's the system. And we live in a two-party system not by accident but by design. But there's a way out. I've done some research. I've spoken to people far smarter than me. Abolishing the Electoral College is step 1 of 5.
"100% agree."
Let's not put our heads in the sand, reduced to reacting to every distraction and manufactured outrage. Take a breath. Step back. Identify the systemic problems with me. Let's outthink this clown. I know abolishing the Electoral College is only step 1 of 5. I'm not naive. And even after the Electoral College is gone, and it will be, there's harder work that remains. Here's the part that stopped me cold.
100% agree.
The United States ranks 171st globally in direct democracy. That's last. That's 171st out of 171. Not a small voice, but no voice. And political stability ranks 95th in the world, between Cambodia and the Congo. And then yet our GDP ranks first. That contrast should unsettle all of us. And so here we are, the richest country on earth, with the least representation, surrounded by wealth, and functionally voiceless.
So what's your take?
This is my take. Listen. We all learned that Venezuela holds the largest proven oil reserves in the world. They were not even exporting it because they couldn't. And they're shielded by Russia and China. So this probably sounds familiar. Bay of Pigs, Cuba, the 60s, Kennedy. So this is my take. We took Venezuela's oil. We're currently selling Iraq's. Iran may be next. Greenland is on the table. ICE could be operating in your city right now. We're living inside of a military machine that asks only one thing of you: to consume quietly until you are dead. It's a shiny machine, a pretty one. It's a pretty hate machine, Am I pretty enough? Can I have luxury goods? What will keep me calm? I can't revolt if I'm busy wanting nice things. Alright, so back on track. The research, the plan, the 5 steps. This is how you dismantle it. A federal blueprint for justice. Direct elections. Well, you get rid of the Electoral College. 1 person, 1 vote. 2. Neutralize the Senate. Why should tiny states block national progress? It makes no sense. 3. Reform the House. Representation should be based on population and not land. Direct democracy. Well, Americans don't get a vote on anything. We're constantly represented by agents who represent land masses favoring southern states and not us. And then 5. Once you do all of those 4, you can easily secure healthcare, housing, and education into the Constitution. It's easy at that point. So these 5 steps put us with Switzerland at the top of the list.
100% agree.
But the difference is scale. Because our size and wealth and military reach and cultural influence mean we don't stabilize the world as police anymore. I hate this. Honestly, I'd rather go back to streaming myself into Dante's 9th circle of hell and obsess over luxury goods I can't afford, and to watch Emrata invade my feed.
Yeah.
It's simpler, dumber, familiar. So please, Netflix and HBO, continue to greenlight more distractions and retro dream states while the world burns. Do not come to Washington Square Park at noon on March 15th. I will not be there with this recently purchased bullhorn from Amazon. I'd much rather keep reacting while everything is dismantled by our tech lord masters who use the South as a tool of oppression. Laws from 1783, written by actual slave owners, okay?
Okay, 100%.
So let me keep posting my outrage. And what am I supposed to do? Keep playing whack-a-mole? Or identify the secret tunnel and the hidden doorway reserved for clowns and racists? I think we should locate the door and close it and seal it and concrete the tunnel. This has gone on long enough. 248 years is long enough.
100%.
And now, friends, the political cartoon is over. It's time for bed. That's all, folks.
Yeah, not doing too bad. Well, I think it's not going to be around forever. I mean, Americans have been opposed to the Electoral College for some time now. If you look at polls, we've already seen twice in the last 25 years the winner of a popular vote losing the presidential election because of the Electoral College. And so I think there's more of an awareness of how unfair it is now. So the other reform people have looked at doing instead is something called the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. Basically, all the states have the power to decide how their electoral votes are going to be awarded. So, it's going to be an uphill battle to get those last states as part of the compact, and there's probably a legal battle we'd face if we ever got to 270. But it seems like a much more likely route to changing the college than the constitutional amendment route, and something that I can see happening really within the next couple of decades. Patches of land belong to this party or that party. And that's not really what America looks like. It seems that way because you have this winner-take-all electoral college system. Yeah, I think, again, I think that it's very hard for us to not talk about the fundamentals of democracy right now in this moment. And so I think that as a consequence of that, we're going to be addressing issues like the Electoral College and the Senate and all the other things I talk about in the book much more seriously in the coming years. And we'll see what comes of that.
There are going to be people losing jobs from AI, and it's not just going to be entry-level people like graphic designers, radiologists, finance people. White-collar professions are at risk of having their jobs automated. The Electoral College is a problem. It thwarts popular majorities. There are lots of issues where 2/3 or more of Americans actually are in agreement. Like if you look at public opinion polls, most Americans think climate change is real and we need to take serious steps to address it. Many people think guns are too widely available in the United States and there should be some regulation. You can look at abortion issues, gay rights issues, and other types of concerns. There actually are big majorities in favor of addressing those problems. But we have political institutions that do not represent all Americans. There should be a public education campaign to alert people to the dangers of the Electoral College, recognizing it may be years to actually achieve success in that area. But I think it's good that there are senators introducing these bills, alerting people to the problem, and trying to mobilize support to get rid of the Electoral College.
Art maker, strangulator. Art maker, strangulator. Art maker, strangulator. Da 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 da. Art maker, strangulator. They say that I'm elsewhere. I'm leaving this time. Old wonder time chooser. I'll get you inside. Art maker, strangulator. Ooh, da, 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 da. They say that I'm elsewhere. I needn't reply. I'm thinking about leaving all tonight.
Hey, let's talk really close this time, okay? So our faces almost touch when we whisper. A change in genre. Something unnecessary. I don't know. We could cry.
No. But tell me this. Do people generally care about what others think of them for an evolutionary advantage? We subject ourselves to others' opinions when, in the heat of any moment, we shouldn't care. Social contracts could be so different.
No, it's simple. It's a movement where everyone can have nice shit. There are luxuries folded in and amongst everything. Vast amounts of inaccessible wealth at great distances, like treasures on a map. So I posit that we gather the excess Scrooge McDuck quantities and make nice shit for everybody.
Okay.
But we have to agree on one key tenet.
What's that?
To stop monopolies from shipping their cheap shit all over the world. This model, it just relocates low-wage jobs to the next poorest country until you hit a wall.
Okay.
Capitalism is a race to the bottom, to the lowest bidder.
Maybe you're right.
Yay! You can buy cheaply made things. Then what do? Sit on our doorsteps waiting for this crisis to reach our doors?
You've got a point.
Das Kapital was written 150 years ago. I mean, really.
I know. I mean, I'm trying, aren't I? Can't I get a little credit? I'm literally down to my last dollar. Just kidding. Bye.
Wow. Wow. Hello, people of Earth. It is I, the last of my kind. But seriously, you do need to go out and buy guns right now. Yes, I know you have liberal values. So now we. So meet me behind the Metropolitan Museum tomorrow at 5 p.m. when I'm going to tell you some more stuff. Bye!
Oh, hello, Priyamvada Gopal. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, there's been a 30% rise in hate groups in the U.S. Are you seeing anything like this in England?
Absolutely. We have a rise in xenophobia, anti-migrant sentiment, racism, resembling, British nationalism, extreme nationalism, combined with white supremacism. So I would say that race is a kind of a flexible idea which shifts in relation to different historical imperatives. So it takes particular forms on slave plantations. It takes different forms in relation to India and China, where you don't have slavery, but you do have bitter wars over land, trading rights, and resources. So, figuring the Chinese, for instance, as cunning and untrustworthy, absolutely tied up to the politics of trying to force open China, trying to get access to resources and trade in China, tied up to the Opium Wars. And you see variants of that today, where the so-called white working class is pitted against migrants and black people and ethnic minorities.
Here, let me look up real quick what natural rights are. Here's the wiki. Natural rights and legal rights are not dependent on laws of any particular government and are universal and inalienable. Natural law first appeared in ancient Greek philosophy, was referred to by Cicero, subsequently alluded to in the Bible, then developed in the Middle Ages by philosophers such as Thomas Aquinas, then during the Age of Enlightenment was used to challenge the divine right of kings, becoming an alternative justification for the establishment of a social contract in the form of classical republicanism. Conversely, the concept of natural rights is used to challenge the legitimacy of establishments. This is so tragic because as I read this, I'm reminded of my cultural duty to consume without accumulating wealth.
The pursuit of liberty is all-consuming.
The word liberty is used by many on the political spectrum, particularly on the right. It certainly is tied up to the ownership of property. It's also tied up to capitalism in the sense of what are we as citizens free to do? Well, we're free to consume.
Good afternoon, Carpinteros. I can hear your pitter-patter in the carpet. Pick up the phone. Let's talk. Hello, caller.
DJ Thanatos?
Yes, go ahead.
Long-time listener, second-time caller. I'll take my answer off the air.
Wait, I know you. Not again. Don't hang up. You haven't asked me anything.
Oh, right. Sorry. Well, I've been furloughed, and from an office with horrible decor, by the way, where everyone aesthetically and unironically shows up like they're going to solve the world's problems through UI, UX designed experiences and apps for 7 to 10-year-olds to help them eat healthier or something. But now I miss seeing a sea of Patagonia hats. You know, the one with the mountains on it?
Yes, I'm familiar.
What has happened to me?
Breathe, caller. Take a deep breath and inhale the fibrous off gases from the...
No, DJ Thanatos, that's just it. There's literally no carpet in my apartment.
Uh-huh. I think I know what to do in this case. Just let me find the... here it is. 1977, Better Homes and Garden, April edition. Close your eyes. No, wait again. That's not it. I'm gonna put you... here we go. Now let me see. You lie down here.
Right here?
Yes. And it looks like you can climb up these stairs, which seems rather interesting. Maybe your father is an architect. Nah. Next. Oh yes, here, this one. Lie down in a pink bathroom in suburban Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, like this?
Yeah. Can you smell Mama's cooking?
Yes.
That's right. Now stay with me. She told you to wash up, didn't she?
Yes.
Go get in the tub.
Like this?
Yes. But now remember, there's no rush because you've got the Millennium Falcon parked under those bubbles. Are you feeling this, Tom?
Yes, I am.
Good. Now dry off and come downstairs. You've got company waiting in the living room.
Okay. But is it my friends and their parents wanting to throw me a surprise party? Or is it my boss from work who's stressed out and wants to Zoom so I can fix a thing he's fucked up again?
No, that's not it. The first one.
Yeah?
Your friends and their parents are all waiting downstairs to surprise you.
Okay then. I'm coming down.
Nice. But wait, do you really need that in your life right now? You're full of creative ideas. You should be alone.
You're right.
So instead, you go to your room and lie down in your favorite spot, listening to Bauhaus and eating Hermann, the German Bavarian hard candies, one at a time. We get it.
You're right. Fuck all that. This is where I'm the happiest. Everyone can go fuck themselves, and Trump is a misogynistic piece.
That's all the time we have. I want to thank our sponsor, Stainmaster from Dalton, Georgia. Even the toughest stains don't stand a chance against those synthetic corn hybrid fibers.
What? Now NASA is recording the sounds of Venus and its upper atmosphere? Oh look, it's Emily Apter. Maybe she can shed some light on a peace of mind. So what do you think about a philosophy of politics since Marx? Or an a priori link between the philosophical and the political?
The retreat of the political. This was an idea that Jean-Luc Nancy and Philippe Labarthe and others, including Jacques Rancière, Jacques Derrida, in the early 80s, they had a center for philosophical research on politics, and they were in search of a philosophical politics that was in some way resistant to public law, to political science, and neoliberal techniques, really, of every stripe. And Anand Badiou wasn't directly associated with the group, but he had his own view of philosophical politics that was aligned with what he calls a truth procedure that ensures that the subject, counted as one, comes into existence in the gap between ordinary politics and the state.
When you came for me.
Oh look, it's Remy Bluebells.
Yeah.
Hi! Okay, raccoons, don't fuck this up. You always make me look bad. Don't fuck it up.
Politics is forgetting what you want out of some sorry sucker and then making it look legal in front of all of your fake friends, the ones who actually happen to be your very next victim. Then one says it looks fine, the others agree. It doesn't look good for you. It doesn't look too good for me. Ooh, these brave eyes preying on lives, stacking up bodies for a little extra money. I hope these days never end. Gonna trap 'em in time. Let this cruel heel behind the wheel drag us into lies. Let these days remain the same for all time.
I recognize my position. I don't do it better, I don't do it different. I just walk and have
Oh shit. I just realized what I'm really gonna hate next year.
What?
Hindsight 2020.
What do you mean?
The saying.
Hindsight 2020, the saying?
Yes. I'm gonna hate hearing it in so many various combinations.
You're right. We are gonna hear it over and over. And the only thing worse would be building a better mousetrap.
Well, you do always have to build a better mousetrap.
You do. And by the way, how far is too far anymore?
Everything has gone too far. It's hindsight 2020.
Wait, is it the 90s? Ugh, good grief. Now what am I, Charlie Brown? Am I annoying to myself, even? Heavens to Murgatroyd. What? Now I'm Snagglepuss because we're breaking the fourth wall? Don't spiral. Was that a threat? Are these upward inflections as questions concluding my sentences in reference to the TV show Friends, which I'll publicly deny, but if it's on in a hotel room or an old person's TV during a holiday, I will let it play and pretend I'm only partly interested while finding secret comfort in nostalgia? Could I be any worse? I'm scared, Chuck. What if I grow up and no one ever loves me, Chuck? Will someone love me someday, Chuck? Oh God, I can't stop.
Let's pick up from our earlier conversation in the green room. We were talking about enmity. I wonder if Americans in general are as bewitched and bewildered as I, as unbeknownst friend enemies with the entire world.
When Schmidt talks about enemies, he's talking about political enemies. So political enemies are those whom you are willing to fight and risk your own life to protect your way of life, or even to repel or even eliminate another way of life. So this is very different from despising someone, right? This is someone with whom you're willing to engage in a life or death confrontation. So this distinction is organized around a logic of enmity, of friends versus enemies.
Willing to engage in a life or death confrontation. So these, what you've termed, violence entrepreneurs.
Now, a violence entrepreneur is someone who determines their own form of enmity or friend-enemy distinction. They are their own sovereign. They kill and are willing to risk their own lives for reasons that they determine. Now, if we were to consider these people just criminals who were committing murder, for instance, then we wouldn't need a new category to understand them, right? We wouldn't need to investigate the phenomenon any further, but that's not what we do, right? These people go off to combat zones, they kill, they come back, and then they're given interviews on morning talk shows. But the structural conditions by which they can, in some sense, vacation at war suggests that violence entrepreneurs participate in a new kind of global political economy of crowdfunding, of global travel, and of these surplus military components and equipment that allow these feelings of solidarity to become lethal.
Oh my god. Because we are literally the only, quote, free people with access to military-style weapons, armor, and lethal toys, domestically and abroad. Let's break down the friend-enemy distinction in Carl Schmitt.
In my rereading of Schmitt, violence entrepreneurs engage what Foucault calls technologies of the self, where they are crafting their own forms of enmity and warfare, and also their own relationships between violence and subject making.
OMG. Excuse me. Longtime fan, and I'll take my answer off the air. But I was just talking with Michael Hardt about this very thing. How Americans are importing themselves back onto themselves by corporations sending design specs over the Pacific. Whoa, that's enough. I'll ask the questions here. That's my job. Can't you spot the adult baby in the room wearing a Punisher pin on his lapel? So, these crowd-funded, rogue Americans who take it upon themselves to commit overseas vacation murder. This seems uniquely American, does it not?
So I think for sure this behavior does carry a distinctly American style to it. Although I think, like many other American styles, it's no longer restricted just to the US. So this kind of Rambo attitude or aesthetic is often present and has certainly kind of found its way into Canada and parts of Europe.
You know, Foucault offers a critique of sovereignty. Insofar as it is inefficient, the sovereign power cannot be everywhere, while biopower can. Biopower marks the recognition of the individual subject's right to make decisions about everyday things. Health, sexuality, lifestyle.
I think belief is important. I also think belief often gets restricted to the realm of ideas and intentions. So we should remind ourselves of the point that you had raised about Foucault, which is that these are examples of how desire and practice can congeal into new subject formations in ways that often exceed or even outright contradict the explicit stated beliefs of individuals.
This is so fun, you know, as I sit here listening to you, I still can't believe there are actual Americans going full vigilante. I can't believe it.
More importantly, what's interesting is how what they're doing is permissible. That the government knows that they're going over. They may interview them before they get on the plane, and then they send them off. And so the question is when is it permissible and when isn't it? So it's kind of difficult to think about a violence entrepreneur through a sort of diagnostic where you kind of apply it to individuals. It's kind of more of a activity almost.
Right. And how to enter a war zone to begin with. That's a task in itself.
Yeah, I mean, you can fly to Iraq. You could fly to Iraq. I think at the time that these people were going into northern Syria and northern Iraq, they were crossing over from Turkey. But but what they were doing, one of the people that was interviewed, I'd read an interview with him, he said that he was, the FBI came to the airport and interviewed him before he got on the plane, just asked him, what are you gonna do? And he said, I'm gonna go fight ISIS, and they were have a good time. So it's totally out in the open. I mean, the government's aware of what they're doing, but states treat them very differently.
Speechless. Tune in tomorrow when I'll be chatting with Keanu Reeves. Good night, everybody. And remember, frog mamas, don't let your tadpoles and froglets grow up to be Care Bears.
You're hilarious, Stephen Asuna. Now, what exactly is the neoliberal turn?
The moment in which capitalists, their corporations, and their capitalist economy were freed from state regulation in the 1970s is what is often called the neoliberal turn. In the global south, it was first enforced in Chile in 1973 after the coup that killed Salvador Allende. Then in Britain under Margaret Thatcher, and in the US with Ronald Reagan, which is often called Reaganomics. The neoliberal turn slashed public spending in housing, education, healthcare, public infrastructure, the social wage, and invested instead in the repressive arm of the capitalist state through policing and prisons. In this current moment of a global pandemic, we see the savage results of neoliberalism, in which capitalist governments are seeking market solutions to solve our immediate problems. Instead of a planned economy that would make sure our needs are met, we have capitalists deciding what needs will be met. This allows for their wealth to accumulate and wealth to be hoarded. Ideologically, the neoliberal turn has also influenced how we think about the social world. When thinking of intellectuals in the university, we see how education has been shaped by capitalist values. The bourgeois conception of the academy is self-serving, to create a name for yourself as an intellectual rather than serve the people through your writing and intellectual labor. The role of intellectuals historically has been to legitimate the social order. And in this moment, neoliberal racial capitalism is the social order. Imperialist plunder is rationalized as a necessary evil for a bourgeois democracy. Intellectuals in the university rationalize these social relations as natural and given, and they get rewarded for it.
I've read a lot of people in Venice are complaining about homelessness right now.
Where I live in El Sereno, you drive through Huntington Drive and there's huge encampments that were never there before, right? And some people will say, oh, it's just a whole bunch of addicts and people with mental health issues. It could be that, but it's also families. It's also people that are able-bodied to work and to live, but they just can't pay their housing.
I've been reading Walter Rodney, and what can you tell me about class suicide?
Walter Rodney and other radicals who were often from the middle strata or middle class urged us to think through class suicide, which they described as going against your class interests and uplifting and fighting for the interests of the working class and the oppressed. They urged us to think about how our work can have a preferential option for the poor. The capitalist system is seductive. It rewards intellectuals and artists when they uphold the status quo. We have to challenge this. And this can only be done, Rodney argued, by grounding ourselves with the struggles of the oppressed. I tell other plants who are predominantly Gen Zs that they have been socialized under a system that has conditioned and promoted a culture of hyper-individualism and the cruel ideology of self-help in capitalist terms. Your personal problems are just that, personal. They're not related to political or economic conditions shaping your existence. Instead, it's your own fault if you're failing at life or down and out. This ideology or cultural formation has produced a heightened anti-intellectualism, an attack on critical thinking, analyzing the root of the problem, what we call radical thinking. The famous saying, that's the way it is, or it is what it is, rather than asking why questions and thinking historically and politically has become common sense, and we must challenge that.
And now a word from our sponsor.
I just want to live.
Have you watched The Social Dilemma yet?
No, why?
You haven't seen it? It's kind of amazing and talks about the evils of tech and how we're social media prisoners liking things we don't actually like.
What? Oh yeah, I've seen it. This is the abyss, the rabbit hole, the darkness. It's all turtles and yoga influencers, all the way down. Are we talking about positive intermittent reinforcement? Slot machines?
Oh, hold on, I was just tagged.
I think it's right to say that any form of bringing citizens into the security apparatus, however informally or however loosely, is dangerous. And I think that we've seen across the board a rise in vigilante violence, whether that takes the form of people, as in Britain, for instance, reporting people who they suspect to be illegal migrants, or reporting people who they suspect of terrorism.
Oh, hello, McKenzie Wark. I enjoyed reading your last book, Capital is Dead. Seems very Nietzschean.
God is dead. Capital is dead. What does it mean to occupy those spaces? And I have to cop to being, among other things, like a kind of extinct species, which is Nietzschean Marxists. I mean, we really were a thing for a minute. You know, it's like not a combination that's very common at all.
I'm reading Marx's Grundrisse by Simon Choate, and I can't help but think that the Earth is a unified factory floor living room, with microplastics floating in the atmosphere, depositing on glaciers, and with no escape for anyone from this factory. No more untouched, pristine nature.
But the other narrative that...
And to top it off, we're all placed alienated in a global workforce, whether we choose to be or not. And the Earth's factory conditions decrease each year, probably at the rate consumption is increasing. We're veal. Irreversible veal.
But the other narrative that sort of made a comeback is that there is a world after this one. This is the false one, and the true one is to come. And the true one is communism. A word I hadn't heard really much for 20 years, but came back. You know, like this is a thing that people are now kind of attached to, probably for good. Yeah, like I think that's probably a good thing.
I agree. And to me, Marx's philosophies are the most complex because he took Hegel and applied it to our reality like a science. Who else has come even remotely close to that ambition and originality?
Another way to think this is this thought experiment. Let's just say I've created a work of art that is completely and absolutely original, and it's right here now before us. You would not be able to even perceive it. It would only be perceivable to you as a work of art if it bore some relation to past art you were able to recognize. If it was in fact absolutely original, it would not be perceivable at all. So there's a way in which for something to be a new work, it needs also to be an old work, to have some element of recognizability.
As a calling, so amaze me, so it needs me every day. Well, I'll never be the same, but I'm yours today. Real on time, lay rest the sugar, lay rest the holiday, lay rest the parasol, while I lost some, yeah.
When I was a graduate student, there was actually a theory. I think the theory was published in research papers, and there was actually an opinion editorial in the New York Times. I don't recall exactly, but it was called benign neglect. The idea was the only way for New York City to come back from its old urban crisis was to let itself run down so that the houses and buildings would crumble and neighborhoods would become crime-filled, and then property values would go so long. This was an actual theory under the name benign neglect, and that somehow if things got so bad, the prices would get so low that people would rebuild. And I think the theory at that time was that they'd make it look just like a suburb. They'd put up single-family homes and they'd put up suburban malls, but of course that's not, well, that did happen in some areas. You can go to some parts of some cities and actually see little neighborhoods like that. But what happened was, for two reasons. One, because young people and artists and the gay community, and then professional people wanted to come back to cities because commuting got so arduous, and because the suburbs got so boring and because they wanted to be closer to where they worked and they wanted to live in historic neighborhoods. Basically around the year 2000, maybe before that, but it's when this really gains momentum and people started moving back to the urban center en masse. But the other thing that happened is that immigrants, coming to the United States from countries all over the world, decided that they wanted a place to live and they liked the opportunity of big cities, so they came back to many of these neighborhoods. So it's not just that artists and musicians and people who could deal with risk and crime went back to these neighborhoods and bootstrapped them. It's that immigrants went back to some of them. The unfortunate thing is sometimes we blame, artists and musicians, and they call them the shock troops of gentrification. I don't think that's true. I think artists and musicians are just looking for great neighborhoods that are affordable, and they want to be part of great neighborhoods, and they like them diverse. But then I think your dream is right. Then these same kinds of developers, or maybe a new generation of developers, see that happening and say, well, we can profit from this. Either we have those communities already, or we can buy up ones adjacent to them and redevelop them for other people, because now they're better. They're more higher income, they're safer, and we can reap a bunch of money of them. So I think it's really that process that drives this.
Would you like to be there?
Good morning, Babette Babbage. I just had a horrible nightmare.
Good morning to you, John. Well, you are in a violent space, so Feng Shui practitioners would say. And maybe as the forgers of 19th century cognitive psychology mused, we know this from Charles Dickens, if we didn't know it from Freud and Jung, your dream might have reflected the violence of the detritus of your art and the abandoned mall all about you.
Yes. Some days I can see the cage. Do you think animals are aware of their own violence? Or the after effects of their violence for survival?
Your question, however, your violence, your dream, animals, makes me wonder about your dream. What were you dreaming about? But you ask, are animals aware of their own violence? Surely in some respects they are, at least in a proprioceptive and intentional sense. They need to be in a snarling rage or ruthless focus or some such affective condition in order to be violent, in order to kill. This, and we know this, take the case of cats, big cats, house cats, it's all the same. If they don't learn how to kill when they're very young from their mothers, they cannot, even when they're fully grown, with fangs and claws and all their muscular powers, they can't pull off the deed with any efficiency. It's kind of awful. And sometimes they can't kill at all. They starve. This often happens with animals raised in zoos. But I think the question goes to the question of what my old teacher Dave Allison used to call moping. Do animals muse about it? Self-reflect on what they themselves have done? I think such reflection, what have I done, requires rather more than self-awareness. It requires self-preoccupation.
But isn't the conscious act of being self-aware and recognizing oneself from others an act of aggression?
Yes, I can't disagree with that. It's also violent, and it's necessary because we wouldn't be able to do what we do to animals if we didn't do it. So one of the things that I've argued for years is that we raise the bar. You know, if a gorilla can do sign language, well, that's not enough. Or if chickens, in fact, and crows can peck things out or figure other things, that's not enough. Whatever the animal can do, it's always not enough. And so we bring the question over, because we're philosophers, to the one question we can't solve. That's the question of other minds. I know I'm self-aware. I'm aware of what I've done. At best, I assume, analogous to my own self-awareness, that you are self-aware. This is the fable of other minds, as we call it.
Krasamiro.
What's up, Lucas?
Sean. Here, look at this.
It's another remake. Again.
Yes. And for the rest of our days, I'm afraid. It's what we deserve. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I couldn't prevent my ears from overhearing you just now. What, may I ask, is being remade again?
MF, what?
I said, I couldn't help but overhear when you said to your friend just now, and I quote, they are remaking it again. Not even 30 seconds ago you said that. I want to know what's being remade again. It's for my research.
Oh, hi Eileen Truax.
Hi.
I was sitting here thinking about the portrayal of millennials as entitled, when they may be the anti-imperial answer we all need and better equipped for a borderless future.
I think that this generation, because of the political moment, but also because the opportunity to connect to each other, have a level of civil and political engagement that we have not seen for a while. For sure, not my generation. I'm Generation X, and I think millennials, this generation, has a more deep understanding of what's going on, not only locally, but in a global way. And also, they have more resources and even more will to organize and to question everything.
I think it's too easy to label youth today as entitled, especially without acknowledging the disasters all around us.
Both left and right at some point, have acknowledged the importance of movements like the Dreamers or the Parkland Kids, just to mention a couple of examples. And these groups have been smart enough to not compromise their activism with one political party or with one politician. People sometimes forget that these are millennials. These kids that we see organized, doing lobby in Washington, talking to the media, preaching to the media, are millennials.
And by my research, we may better understand global patterns of human economic behavior through the lens of this town, minus any particular agenda I may have, I might add. Eureka, I've got it. In academia, that's called research.
So what is it today? Just the lifespan of industrial civilization on planet Earth, several hundred years old. And the lifespan of human civilization, several thousand. The lifespan of the Milky Way and its various stars, 13.51 billion years. Entire civilizations unable to contact one another, separated by distances too vast. Time and space are goo great for new.
Goo great?
Time and space are too great for new worlds and civilizations to learn from one another. But what's the point, really? Humanity shows us over and over the cruel eventuality we humans have for murdering and destroying new and different groups. So we burn up in a violent rage, devoid of meaning or conversation, with our fists clenched and full of fear. There are potentially billions of life-inhabiting worlds out there, teeming with intelligent life at this very second, burning up like empty calories.
Fiddle honey is people.
Hey, quiet.
Wake up, it's time to meet Lucas in the park.
Okay, but first, let me show you guys something that I saw last night.
Are churning, worms are squirming, wagging their tails for love. What is this thing of which I sing that makes us all bewitched? What is this thing that comes in spring that gives us all the itch? Oh, it's love, it's love, it's love, 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 love,
Waited 2 weeks to call you, and my question is this. Do you have any guilt yet for what you did? It's a yes or no question.
Yeah, it's pronounced you pawn garbage, like everyone's pawning their shit to anyone who'll buy it. So...
Yeah, no shit. Sorry, I was thinking about those idiots who burned Nikes on Twitter because Kaepernick. I mean, you can't fight ideology without logic. Would it be hilarious if I started crying for the Earth? Right here? Like a tiny human crying for my home planet? But isn't this the most important issue we face, no matter what your afterlife beliefs are? Most people aren't so stupid. Dominant thinking is directly to blame.
Probably. But it'll be another decade before these assholes die or retire. Hold on. Hello, what scam is this? Hello? I only get actual calls from scams and doctors' offices. Hello? Has my pocket computer joined a cult in which familial relationships are shunned? Why aren't you my mother calling? Is this Stockholm Syndrome by proxy, by phone? Are you a person or a recording?
Nice day today, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, it's beautiful. There's not much humidity either.
Alright, so I've got an idea.
Okay, what's your idea?
What are these?
Hey, what was that movie with Annette Funicello in it? On a beach.
Google.
Wow. Whatever happened to all haphazard conversating? You know, the exchange of thoughts, and who even is Google, am I right? And Annette Funicello is the best icebreaker. Are you kidding me? Is this thing on?
Alexa, my horse, please.
John, you do not have a horse because cars. Until the early 21st century, horses were used to pull the worst kind of tourists in the dead heat of summer, to nowhere particular. In gross public displays of animal cruelty.
To be clear, in this scenario, our conversation is the horse.
Okay, we're all here. I found this box in an alley. I think it was at 52nd and Reynolds.
Well, they all say Ish bin Klang, hairbrushing to Brian Jonestown Massacre, Savannah, Georgia 9920.
Excuse me.
What?
Oh, that's Peaky Bubbles, you guys. She shows up.
Hi everyone, he's right. It's Peaky Bubbles and I just got back from the...
Okay, Peaky. Talk to you later.
Okay, talk to you later. Look at my shoe though.
Just look at all these brushes. Look at all these elements together, forming some kind of grand design for a future event to take place here in the park 1 year from now, which, by the way, is an election year and falls on a Tuesday, to be ultra specific.
Yeah, but what does this all mean?
And Ish bin Klang is a song. I brought it with me.
So wait, we are practicing for a future event in which strangers comb each other's hair to music?
That's what we're doing here? Are we planning this? I'm confused. And how could anyone predict the way this is playing out the way it is?
Side note, and unnecessary specific detail. I believe the German here translates to I am sound. Whoever put this box in the alleyway went extra efforts to not only suggest said future public combing, but included this impromptu gathering to unfold 1 year prior as a necessary step in the idea. It's as if we have no agency. I can't decide if this is brilliant or boring, but it's nothing in between, that much I know. And, P.S., I hate these speaker tube things. They're the announcers of public pain, am I right? Front note. If we don't follow through with this activity, it may be a direct attack on fate. The parts lie before us, and we're merely the conduit. P.P.S. I don't know if my hand or my brain just pushed play.
Guys, as appealing as all of this is, and I value my friendships with each one of you, I might have a panic attack if I comb your hair in public to loud music. Am I reading this wrong?
No, but let's commit. It's entirely new territory. Mr. LaForge, prepare engines for warp. Lieutenant Commander Data, lay an intercept course for public combing. Mr. Worf, meet me in my ready room so we can talk about Alexander. Engage.
God, can these have lice?
I love this. No chill.
I can't wait for 2020. The residual effects from this event will definitely have an impact on my vote.
Like the hands through the hair glass. These are the combs of our lives. Lucas, tell me the truth. Is this something you've been planning?
Schmeetails.
Ooh, that's a good brush right there. That was good.
I don't really mind this.
This isn't awful.
I could keep doing this.
I like it.
I don't know.
We are gonna need gallons of barbicide on hand for this event.
Agreed.
Hey, This just inspired my first public speech. People of Earth, if we can all look into the shared darkness and acknowledge the horrible fucked up things we've done to each other, and will likely continue to do, this exercise and the acknowledgement of shared pain may help create, nay. Wait, am I describing goth? Is being goth the appropriate social default?
Good speech.
Oh look guys, it's Rummy Bluebells. Hey Rummy Bluebells.
Hey, Rummy.
Hey, can you play us a song?
I wanted to try, but I couldn't see past all the bullshit. I wanted to try, but I wonder if Amazon even acknowledges the irony in its name. Hey, I wanted to try, but all the companies that control our laws just keep the good people down. Hit it. I'm just a bag of blood, and so are you. I wanted to try, but when will Twitter realize we need civility on the earth to survive? I wanted to try, but space comes before race, while we all sit here burning alive.
I think certain malls in certain places, if they're close to thriving suburbs, if they're in an area where people can get to and they want a sense of community, can be remade. And, you know, they can be remade as places people want to come to, maybe to go to a flea market or go to restaurants. Sometimes I go to malls, not very frequently, but I find is there's a lot of people eating in the restaurants, but not a lot of people shopping. So I think making malls the kind of places where people can mix and mingle, have a coffee, have something to eat, maybe even go to a bookstore or magazine store or browse the stacks. But I think that malls as a place just to shop and buy things are increasingly going by the wayside.
Hey, I almost forgot to tell you guys. Remember the old Journeys next door? There's a new tenant in there doing a radio show, and the first episode's today. Let's hear it.
Good afternoon, Carpinteros. I can hear your pitter-patter in the carpet. Pick up the phone. Let's talk.
Hello, DJ Thanatos?
Yes, go ahead.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. I'll go ahead and take my answer off the air.
Whoa. Take a breath and start again. Tell me about your surroundings.
Okay. I'm in a hellscape of exposed brick, cement floors, and Edison light bulbs, which, by the way, make absolutely no sense in mid-century design. Tell me who was the designer who was so lazy to overlook filaments and is now responsible for this ever-growing trend? Where are the period 1950 globes and proper filaments for mid-century lamps? Not this turn-of-the-century pre-Deco Nouveau. It's like I'm being forced to live in someone's lazy, late Victorian, dystopian mashup who can't do simple research. It makes me literally sick. I'm pretty sure this proves I'm living in a simulation created by some schlub with no attention to detail. Because the filaments...
Whoa, calm down, caller. You're off track. Focus on the carpet, or I'll hang up.
Okay, the carpet. But people in my office are riding zip scooters like it's the 90s again. And I just ate lunch at one of our 17 restaurants in our lobby. We have racquetball, a spa, 2 coffee bars, an ice cream bar, a cereal bar, a pure bar, a Babar Build-A-Bar, and 7 regular bars. I haven't been home in weeks. I feel my personality is being ripped away, or if I even had one, I can't perform any real self-assessment. I'm looking for some real feedback. Front note, as a child I was always a little different from everyone. You know, edgy, creative, harboring an inner darkness from and for any authorities. Maybe that's how I ended up here, on this floor. I'm at what is referred to as a hot desk. I wanted to be in a place with other like-minded people. Fast forward to me now.
Carpet diem, caller. Read us the carpet, or you will be hanged up on. It's the bridge between us.
Right, sorry. It's a high-traffic, industrial-grade, stone palace gray, short sheer Berber, I think.
Oh, hell yeah. Please hold while I locate said nibbly Berber swatch. High traffic, industrial grade, stone palace gray, short sheer Berber. Nice, nice. Okay, continue.
Maybe I thought the answer was in a collective, where group needs supersede territorial pissings. I could play volleyball in my hoodie with 40-somethings who have similar fashion sensibilities. Now I think I'm lame and high-fiving with everyone.
Breathe, caller. Quick. Place your nostrils against the carpet and inhale. Fill your lungs with fibrous off gases and say night-night to your prefrontal cortex.
Thank you. That does feel better. But, like my conversations revolve around protein bars.
No. The carpet is drinking your tears. It's the towel, and you're the spill. Today's show is brought to you by Stainmaster from Dalton, Georgia. Even the toughest stains don't stand a chance against these synthetic corn hybrid fibers.
And we were the world's great country, and people respected us, you know. There was a great respect to America because we beat fascism and communism, and we're seen as a country that liberated places. I think now, increasingly, we're seen as a rogue nation. It's not just that we consume all these things. It's that we have Donald Trump as our president, and you know, we're seen as a place that no longer welcomes immigrants, that closes our borders, that treats other cultures with disrespect, that reduces our spending on research and development, that ignores climate change. So I think it's even worse than that. I think that, you know, as the most affluent country in the world and the country that benefited from an influx of not only great scientists and engineers, but our culture was shaped by great European artists and musicians. Hollywood and our symphonies and our art and our colleges of art were filled with immigrants flocking to liberalism and democracy and safety. And now we're turning our backs on that. So I really think that America now risks, you know, so for so long was the world's open country. It had all of its problems. It was overly militarized. It was sometimes too violent. But for all those warts, it still remained a great creative beacon. And I think now, for the first time, we've reached this point where maybe America isn't that. And, you know, you see great cities like I live in Toronto or Vancouver or Sydney or Melbourne or Berlin or London or Paris or the great cities of Asia. You know, now people have a lot more choice. So I do think we're at this point, this inflection point, where maybe all the things that made America great are starting to shift, and it might be that we live in a world which is much bigger than ourselves. And certainly creativity, every single human being is creative. Each of us has a creative energy that can be mobilized and harnessed, and maybe that will be something that shifts to many, many more places outside the United States. And I certainly think, the longer we're in this divided country with Trump as president, the more that's likely to happen.
You won't be there to comfort me when I'm lost in the city. I'm alone, I've got nowhere to go, and I'm just holding on to the thought that one day we'll be safe. You will find yourself on the path to my arms.
What if I told you that during the Cold War, there was a secret operation in Mexico City to create anti-communist propaganda cartoons by the US government? You might say, okay, weird, but I believe it. And then, what if I said, the same animation studio also made Rocky and Bullwinkle, disseminating the biggest Russian and German stereotypes to kids globally? Sounds too coincidental, right? Well, how about we go find out and do a Bon Voyage Charlie Brown and Don't Come Back thing? Search through some archives, talk to some folks, and see if we can locate these cartoons down in Mexico. Come on, let's go.
No. No.
Will someone love me someday, Chuck? Oh God, I can't stop. Hola, ¿cómo te llamas?
Clara, ¿y tú?
John. Where are you going?
Not sure.
Me neither. I feel so free.
You're free with American dollars, but have some perspective.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm so free.
Maybe that's better.
So, where are your favorite tacos in La Roma or Condesa?
Ugh, gross.
Wait, I'm gross? Yeah, you're right.
Why are you here?
To visit the Filmoteca and Cineteca.
It sounds interesting. Why?
It's a long story. Let's race. Oh, hello, Noam Chomsky. It's funny to run into you because as I was walking, I was thinking about corporate campuses, blurring lines between work and personal life. But now things have gone the other way since we've zoomed the workplace into our homes.
If it's the companies creating campuses, we have every reason to be skeptical. If it's the workers who are cooperating in organizing efforts to mix leisure with work, it's perfectly reasonable.
What do you think about love and capitalism, or religion and capitalism? Many advertisers try to tap into our ideals and moralities, promoting companies like individuals who care for the environment.
Advertisements are quite openly a way to induce those who observe them to act in the interests of the company that is sending them. They're an effort to control opinion and attitudes. That's not concealed. That's their obvious purpose. We understand that. So therefore we disregard what they claim to be doing, and we ask what they are in fact doing. So take caring for the environment, caring for consumers. The advertisers have no concern for consumers except to get them to buy the product. They have no concern for the environment. Basically, that's what advertising is about. Advertising is not a social service. It's an effort to induce purchasing, open, undisguised. So what about the environment? Well, we could look at concrete cases. For example, an interesting case was at the last conference, international conference on the environment, the Glasgow conference last October. The CEO of BlackRock made an impassioned address about how the investor community is willing to devote huge sums. Maybe they have control of $130 trillion. They'll devote large parts of it to dealing with the environmental crisis. It was very impressive. The American representative, John Kerry, was enthusiastic. He gave a euphoric talk about how we've solved the problem. The investor community, with its huge resources, is now on our side. Well, that's caring for the environment. Now, there was a small footnote pointed out by a leading political economist, Adam Tooze, Columbia University. He pointed out that yes, Larry Fink offered this, but with some provisos. One, that the investments be profitable, and two, if it turns out they're not profitable, the taxpayer will pay them for it through the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. Okay, that's the nature of an advertisement. We all know that. It means when you get an offer from a company, you look at the small print. Well, that's the small print.
I just read Bell Hooks's All About Love, and she wrote that there can be no power struggle or domination in love. These characteristics describe business strategy. So what kind of love can exist under capitalism?
Exactly the kind of love that Larry Fink illustrated. Love for profit and power. That's the nature of the institution. If someone in the institution does not abide by that principle, they'll be out of the game. It's the nature of a competitive market. Suppose a Ford Motor Company decides that it's interested in, not in profit, but in benefiting consumers and future generations by not concentrating on profit, but rather producing, their competitor will be working on how to make profit tomorrow. Ford Motor Company won't be in business at the time when these investments come to fruition.
I know you didn't ask, but I'm down here visiting film archives in search of 12 propaganda cartoons made during the Cold War in Mexico City under the codename Project Pedro. Yes, you heard me. A covert operation by the US government to create Spanish-speaking, anti-Russian and anti-communist cartoons to appear indigenous in the global south, otherwise known as Maquiladora. Anyways, you've written extensively on US-Mexican trade policies, and South America, and stealth political propaganda, and US-Mexican labor relations. What do you think about NAFTA so many years later, or the USMCA?
My thoughts now are about the same as what I wrote in 1994 when the executive version of NAFTA, Clinton's version, was rammed through virtually without discussion, without even informing the labor movement, as was required by U.S. trade law. I think they were informed about 24 hours before the executive version was passed by Congress. They did write a response. The Labor Advisory Committee wrote a critique pointing out that this version of NAFTA will lead to a low-growth, low-wage economy. And what they offered in response was a high-wage economy. Their proposal was, of course, disregarded, never even reported. It happened to virtually coincide with the analysis that had been given by the Congressional Office of Technology Assessment, Congress's Research Bureau. Since dismantled, Congress doesn't want the information. That was all thrown out. We now have experience, and what was predicted is exactly what happened. It led to low-wage, highly exploited, high-profit labor in Mexico, a loss of many American jobs, mostly union jobs. Further effect of NAFTA, which I should have but hadn't anticipated at the time, was that it proved to be a very effective weapon against labor organizing in the United States. Actually, there was a study by researchers at the Cornell University program in labor history, labor relations, taken within NAFTA auspices. Studies showed that about a very high percentage, I think maybe 50%, of organizing efforts in the United States were disrupted and undermined by employer threats that if people tried to organize the union, they'd shift the operation to Mexico. They weren't really intending to do that, but the threat was sufficient to undermine organizing. Those threats are illegal, but under Clinton, labor law was not enforced. So if you have a criminal state, doesn't matter if actions are illegal. So in fact, not only did it undermine jobs in the United States, especially union jobs, but also led to a heavily exploited maquila economy in Mexico, pretty much as anticipated.
Before you go, I'd like to plug a panel I'm organizing in New York City in February with Keller Esterling, McKenzie Wark, and Carlos Oliva Mendoza. It's called, are you ready? Future Space, Trade and Capitalism in Digital Cities. We'll talk about the future of urban life, even more digitized social experiences and currencies, and possible architectural shifts. You should come. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Noam Chomsky. You're an actual living legend. Which artists are revolutionary in 2024?
Okay, I found this on the web for which artists are revolutionary in 2024. Check it out.
See how I come to work? Very demure. I don't wear too much makeup. I don't come showing up with wing liner and lashes. I do a little hair oil on the wig. I do a little tinted moisture. I do a little brow gel. Very considerate, very approachable, very demure.
Hey Siri. What won't waste my time this weekend in Hudson?
Okay, I found this on the web for what won't waste my time this weekend in Hudson. Check it out.
Stop. Okay, I'm not depressed. I'm fine. Things are fine. My ideas are valid. Not everything is recycled wash. Post Frederick Jameson. We don't need definitive decades with distinctive character, style, and genius of the 1900s. Oh, hi, Boris Groys. I thought you were in Berlin. Why are you hanging out here? In your book, Russian Cosmism, you talk about Malevich and Kandinsky and Blue Rider. Can artists still be revolutionary? Or totally new?
If you speak about the contemporary situation, it seems to me that the artists want to be liked. So they want to be liked potentially by everybody. And that is an attitude which contradicts like 100% the avant-garde impulse. But the avant-garde impulse was not to be liked. Because only if you are not liked, you can do something that is totally independent from contemporary taste. And what is it, contemporary taste? The contemporary taste is a taste that is formed by the past. It is not formed by contemporaneity, by definition, It is something that comes from the past. That is why Malevich, we speak about Malevich, said the greatest enemy of the artist is sincerity. When If artist is sincere, that only means that he or she manifests the taste. As a taste is a taste of the past. You should not only reject the taste of the others, you should reject your own taste. Only then you are able to do something really different.
Like a goddamn luminescent enlightenment filament. Oh my god, Greenpoint's so nice. Okay, so what Boris said. How do I make something new? Something nobody will like. Something I don't like. Completely alien. But then I won't get any likes and I'll get depressed. Maybe I'll remove the likes for that post. And why am I thinking like a small boutique ad agency? Posting the lead-up process shots behind the scenes and it's coming soon. I've inhabited the propaganda machine of the USIA and 100 years of American worldwide propaganda of bootstrap capitalist individualism. The good neighbor policy, voice of America, until what? Decades of money and resources, espionage, tiny cameras, listening devices, and now nothing. Except millions of listening devices, location trackers, cameras communicating via a DARPA invention, pretending we're not always listened to and communicating with encryption. So the question becomes, is the 100-year propaganda effort over? Has Instagram assumed McLuhan's perfect medium in the message? Are we the ones now voluntarily spreading bootstrap capitalist individualism? Constant beach pics. Look what I made. It's odd to think of ourselves separated in a sea of others communicating via satellites we assume are privately owned when it's all a US military invented tool. And yeah, the KGB tapped phones. China built its own Google, YouTube, and Amazon. But let it be known, there's never been surveillance on this large of a scale, and mostly viewed as benign or irrelevant. What kind of capitalist dance are you gonna do? Do you like to dance? Because you're gonna fucking dance, whether you like it or not. And yeah, Greenpoint is really nice. Hi. Can I take a look at your paintings for a moment? I need to clear my mind, or maybe I need a lobotomy. Oh, goddammit.
Feel the energy. I just moved to the Big Apple. I'm a candle maker who's never left Joshua Tree until yesterday. Well, I went to Palm Springs once, but it was crazy, so I immediately went back to JT. The Big Apple is so scary, so I stay in here eating aloe.
Okay, I have so many questions. Are you painting Batman's apple repeatedly? And how did you end up here?
Well, it's a long story, but the short version is that a wealthy collector saw my work at a flea market by the side of the road where I sell candles made of earwax and various secretions. I was pushing 2 of my paintings in a broken baby stroller, and he said, OMG, stop. Get in the car. You're coming to New York. I'll pay for everything. A studio. Just paint. So here I am since yesterday.
Okay. And all these Batman's ads.
Haha, who is that? I grew up without TV or internet. I've actually never seen a computer. My childhood was literally lying in dead, dusty grass with a handful of cashews and wearing clothing made from my cat's hair. And people keep asking me about this Batman, and I have no idea.
You have no idea?
And they're not assholes either, whatever those are.
God, the repetition, the colors, Warhol.
Andy who?
Catherine Bernhardt.
I love Burning Man.
Canada Gallery, Bart Simpson's ass.
Bartholomew J. Simpson.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I only read the Bible.
You're gonna be huge.
Oh, that collector said he's arranging for my work to be shown at Oops. Who just said I've been invited to show at Whitney's Biennial. Do you know her?
Kill me. Carlos, where are you? Carlos, she's printing money. Meet me back in the limited. Carlos.
Yo creo que el marxismo en estos días es una prognosis de la catástrofe, un proyecto narrativo del fin de un sistema de sentido que llamamos capitalismo y que se basa en la operación determinante del capital como gran sujeto de la historia actual. Hay un Marx que pensó mucho en la emancipación, un Marx romántico y europeo, pero hay otro Marx que lo podríamos llamar sajón, y ya es un pensador que está concentrado en la crítica y descripción radical del movimiento del capital. Realmente en el capital no se piensa mucho en la emancipación, sino en la crisis interna del capital, el sinsentido de la socialidad dineraria, la brutalidad de la explotación industrial, el colapso escatológico de las ciudades del siglo XIX y sus pobladores, la devastación de la forma natural, la renovada práctica de la acumulación violenta y primitiva, la ganancia extraordinaria que producen los procesos de colonización, imperialismo y dominación, o el estancamiento y baja de las propias ganancias del capital, producido paradójicamente por la tecnología del capital. Si abaratas las mercancías es porque les sustraes trabajo humano y las serializas, enfrentas entonces grandes márgenes de desempleo y migración y por lo tanto falta de explotación por plusvalor industrial. Además, ¿quién te va a comprar las mercancías? Por eso el mundo actual está inundado de bodegones, de mercancías que en general se compran a crédito. Pienso en Costco, Walmart, Ikea, o las bodegas virtuales, no solo reales, como Amazon y eBay. Todas iguales, nómadas, desarraigadas, espectrales. Ahora, sobre jugar al Monopoly, pues los medios de comunicación actual son el último refugio de las mercancías capitalistas. Cada vez más inmateriales, objetivamente son flujo de dinero. Para el gran capital es secundario que se venda o compre la mercancía, que se posea. Lo importante es que circule, que establezca una carretera de orientación en el mundo tecnológico del capital. Así todos alimentamos de una u otra forma a la máquina y no tenemos muchas opciones al respecto. Por esto, al participar en las redes capitalistas de comunicación y creación de sentido, hay que hacerlo como un ejercicio, como un ensayo de nuestros movimientos de representación, de acción y de futuro, pero también de recreación del pasado y de la memoria. En tanto no haya otro lugar donde accionar o este siga siendo para nosotros el lugar elemental, hay que contribuir a que desaparezca.
But it really is about your world and understanding it and the strength of your characters and that they come from your soul. and they feel that and know it because of the way you've written it and presented it. And I would say of all the things, that was the thing that it kept circling back to as the key.
What happened to the Marxist institutional critique of every 1990s art school? Oh, hello, David Joselit.
I'm good. How are you?
In your latest book, Art's Properties, you talk about artists being in the business of self-possession, while their artwork dispossesses others from it. So it seems there's room to discuss the possibility of art serving a selfless purpose. But can art transcend self-possession and commercialization? Instagram's made us creators of a persona, selling our brand.
The distinction that I think I'd like to draw out in the book is that there is a shift over this period toward intellectual property, which is a well-established thing. In our world, the greatest, most capitalized corporations are those that are dealing with information and data, etc. And so it seems to me that the artist becomes more and more a kind of avatar of intellectual property. Artists are, the personified version of, they're all intellectual property in a certain sense, right? That's what, of course, artists are selling things, you can call those products, but the real value, lies in the properties of the artist, as a maker, as a creator, as what some people call, in a phrase I really don't like, but now I'm going to use it, the creatives. And so it seems to me that art has had to deal with this convergence between artists and intellectual property in ways that I would imagine, I'm not an artist, but I followed contemporary art for 40 or more years pretty closely and professionally, and it seems to me that this becomes a kind of burden on artists. If you talk about someone like Josh Klein, I think he's really very consciously thinking about what it means to circulate in a world of intellectual property, and what it means to make his own, while also trying to corrode, I would say, rather than subvert, to corrode, to identify negative dimensions of this very same system that he's speaking of.
I'm having an issue existing in our democracy.
Aren't we all? The Supreme Court is a joke. Everything's a joke.
Right, but here's what's bothering me. Do you know the old saying, success is when preparation meets opportunity?
Yes, I'm familiar.
Well, doesn't that sound like a system of oppression? No matter where you're born in the world, under any government, you're probably born into a lower strata of society. And whatever cultural hang-ups or norms there are in that society, moving up is incredibly hard. And there isn't enough room for everyone at the top.
I'm not following you.
But I want to illustrate how society has fucked up rules for piety and religious devotion to godlike humans.
What's your point?
Well, I'm going to tell you if you just hear me out. My point is that A, success, B, preparation, and C, opportunity are an equation of oppression we never humanly escape. If success is abstract, particular to a person, and we visualize or work toward it via preparation, are we all waiting for the same pop quiz? No. Are we all swimming at 5 a.m. before work for an eventual Olympic tryout? No. We know success equals money, but there is no singular way of achieving it.
Well, okay. But this isn't news to anyone. Especially if you're inferring that we've replaced gods and kings with celebrity worship. That shit's not interesting.
Again, These people are a threat to the Union because they don't understand how the military budget ties into university funding. But I digress. We get the tiniest glimpse of humanity.
Okay, so you're suggesting that our wanting success is oppressive and we've replaced brutal sacrifice, shamans, popes, and kings with a new carrot on a stick?
We're waiting for opportunity with preparation. When does opportunity arrive and in what form?
We're going mental and losing our shit, proving success with new cars and vacations to Tulum on Instagram.
Stop clinging to status objects.
So how do we live freely without pious devotion to celebrities or status objects?
When people aren't in competition, they begin to feel loved.
You know, this reminds me of something I read a while ago. It was Bell Hooks's All About Love, where she explained what love is in a way I never fully understood before. When there's domination or any kind of power struggle in a relationship, there can be no love. When you're one-upping your partner or keeping score, there is no love. Love exists outside of domination and order. Love exists outside of oppression. If capitalism is straight up domination and order, then it can bring no love, just pain.
OMG. I'm ordering it on Amazon right now.
This has been a game changer for my partner. He made the decision to start a daily health routine to get back into shape.
And I fuel off of working with people. Even right now, talking to you will be the highlight of this day. It just sparks, right? I need that and want that. So the idea of me doing something solo, I like to hike alone sometimes. I like to mountain bike. Almost always alone is fun. But animating is hard and tedious and meticulous.
Institutional girth. Dysfunctional normality. Excuse me, did you say institutional girth? No, I said worth, not girth. Institutional worth. Okay. Oh shit, it's Remy Bluebells.
Okay, raccoons. Don't fuck this up. You always make me look bad.
Falling at the speed of light, listening to childish ways.